Intellect, BOC, OG Eddie Lee, 13, G Mine, you in the booth with me, baby, I feel you. Still of the night. Before I go into reciting Still of the Night, and before I even go into the actual introduction that I wrote for Still of the Night, I want to say something kind of related to Still of the Night and some of the poetry that I do. Every time I come in this booth, it depends on what kind of material I'm going to recite. But if it got anything to do with anything like the 60s or the 70s or anything related to OGs or my enhancement coming from the OGs or anything that got something to do with talking to a woman, say if I wrote a poem that had something to do with something I said to a woman, because every poem that I ever wrote to a woman, I've actually said it to a woman at one time or another, kind of had me reflecting back to when my son was younger. My son, Eddie Jr., around the age of 7 or 8, he would always, and I don't even know how this came about, but it was just something that he would ask me. And on the weekends when I would go pick him up, him and his sister, it didn't matter if we was at the movie theaters, didn't matter if we was at the grocery store, it didn't matter if we was at the learning mat, it didn't matter if we were walking around the mall. It didn't really matter what was going on. If it was any kind of women around, my son would always ask me, Daddy, you think you got a rap for that girl? Now, I don't even understand how he knew what rap was because most of the newer generation don't really know hip-hop, and rap actually originated from guys actually talking to women. It was just more of an advanced second level. But when it all break down, it was still some form of rapping. So I would say, yes, son, I got a rap for any girl. And for whatever reasons, he would always challenge me. He would point out girls and say, Daddy, you say you got a rap. Let me see you go rap to that girl. So, it's almost like one of the homies was calling me out that knew what rapping was about. And they say, hey, why don't you go rap to this girl? I couldn't let them know that I was afraid, or I couldn't let them know I didn't really believe in what I told them for us having the ability to talk to any woman. So I go up there and I step to the woman. And before it's over with, I end up getting the phone number. So I don't know why he challenged me like that. I don't know how he understood what rap really meant when it came to talking to a woman, but he knew. And I never asked him, what you know about rapping? What you know about men rapping to women? Who told you that men rap to women back in the days? But he automatically knew. And so every time I'm in the booth, especially when I'm doing something that I wrote for a woman, the first thing come to my mind is my son and how he used to challenge me by asking me if I can rap to that particular woman, he want to see me do it. So I actually be feeling my son when I come in here and I'm doing anything written for women, or if I'm doing something on a gangster level. Like my son would always say, Eddie Jr. would say, Dad, I'm not a gangster, but I did some gangster shit. If I'm reciting any kind of poetry that got something to do with a gangster lifestyle or me rapping to a woman, I think about my son, Eddie Jr. I miss you, son. I love you. I'm going to keep doing what I told you I would do way before you turn it on into the afterlife. I told you if something happened to you, I had your children. I do what I can to make sure your children have something, and I've been doing just that. Peace. Still of the night. The still of the night arrived from activities I observed while interacting in the world during the wee hours of the night. I observed these particular activities without saying a word. Most people assume a talkative person don't like listening to others talk. Maybe in most cases, the average talkative person don't want to hear anyone else talk. I'm not the average person that listens to others talk, especially if they actually saying something meaningful. It's one of numerous things I enjoy doing the most. I didn't title this particular poem The Still of the Night because it was quiet that night. Speaking honestly with you, it wasn't anything still about that night. My poem titled The Still of the Night arrived from the way I was feeling during the night. I was out interacting in the world that night. Because on that particular night, I was on the grind until the wee hours of the night. It became obvious to me on that particular night, everybody I observed was on some form of paper chase. For the record, I started hustling legally in 1972, which led to me hustling illegally in 1975. I had the ability to recognize the hustler game a mile away. I noticed in most cases, other hustlers recognize other hustlers. Just like the saying goes, game recognize game, the lane definite recognize game. Since it's natural for hustlers to recognize other hustlers, Lame hustlers very rarely approach me with nonsense. The few times lame hustlers approach me with nonsense, I said several words out of my mouth, and these lame hustlers backed off me. Judging by these lame hustlers' facial expression, these lame hustlers hope. I didn't recognize they was trying to hustle me. While observing those who was out hustling that night,